Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I bring you the best game I have played since June 2022. It's been 2.5 years of still playing this game, and I didn't have a result as good as this one in 2.5 years. 2.5 years ago on my channel I uploaded a video called The Best Game I've Ever Played, which was a 9-kill 1 versus 5 victory in the BMP2. So, you know, 2.5 years ago, that's a while back. That's there were no minimum arm distance restrictions on ATGMs. You could just fire at whatever range you wanted. But that was in the BMP2, back when the BMP2 was it was king of the hill back then. It really was king of the hill. It's been 2.5 years since then, and this, in my opinion, is the best game I have played since that moment in time. It's the Begleitpanzer, which I don't play a whole lot of because I feel this tank is also a little bit on the... Is this overpowered? I don't want to say this is overpowered because the minimum arm distance has really reeled things in. I would say this is teetering on the edge of being maybe slightly too powerful. And I don't play it very often for that reason. The only reason I am playing it here is because I was doing I was doing the VT2 contract, which required mediums and lights, and I wanted the XP, so I was just going through the tech trees, or going through my garage rather, playing the ×2s that I had. So this game was, I think this is the first Begleitpanzer game I've played in. Nice ammo rack there. Woohoo! That helps. I think this is the first Bagel game I played in about a year and a half. So I really don't touch this thing very, very often. But this game to me is the reason why I'm sort of hesitating on saying, is it overpowered? Is it okay? Like I don't. This game is the reason why I'm leaning towards it. Maybe it's a little too good still. But I had fun playing this, so I won't complain too much. So let's focus on what's going on here. So we've killed a Leopard 1. The Leopard 1 just sat on the hill. This game is taken from a live stream, and I remember commenting during the live stream thinking, dude, don't sit there, man. I can see you. I'm going to shoot you. But hey, you got to learn. Leopard 1, don't do that. We ammo racked the BZT-70 for 3,000. That took us up to 5,000 damage. 1,000 on the ATGM there into the Stingray. And again, Stingray is... Yeah, you've had it, mate. Yeah, talking of tough tanks, Stingray 2, that's... it's one of the, you've just got to get through it. You've got to play the Stingray 2 like it's a medium. You don't play it like it's a light tank. Play it like it's a medium with fantastic concealment. That's the best way to play the Stingray and the Stingray 2. The Bradley is good in Era 3, but you've just got to get through the Stingray and the Stingray 2 because, well, it's part of the tech tree, isn't it? So we're being slightly aggressive. The Bagel doesn't have the best concealment, but we tracked the BMP1. We pop smoke because we're just trying to keep our distance from these guys. I know they're both chasing me, and it's at this point, I don't know if I checked the scoreboard, but I noticed there are 2 light tanks behind me, and if you look at the team listings at the top, there are 2 light tanks that are platooned. And I think it's roughly here where I check and I find out that those 2 behind me, those are the 2 that are platooned. So the ATGM goes out, we take out one of them, and based on their aggressive play and the inaccurate fire there, this is where I start to think, these 2 are platooned, but they're not striking me as the best players. And this is kind of where, with the Bagel, I start to feel, that's a little, I don't quite feel good about that. I've just taken out a platoon of 2 people probably just trying to have a good time. They made an aggressive push against 1 tank, which, you know, I suppose that makes sense. 2 versus 1. Those are, well, you know, odds could be worse. But at that point there, I thought, that kind of felt like, oh dear, that wasn't very nice, was it? Because we're now at over 10,000 damage. It's 4 versus 6. We're not full health, but we're not in terrible shape. And now it's just a case of, okay, yeah, 3 versus 6. I don't think the team's going to get this one. So in my head I'm thinking, well, I've done 10,000 damage. I've got 5 kills. This is by no means a bad game. I don't think anyone would say this is a bad game. But, you know, it's not likely to be a win at this point. So let's just play it for all we can get out of it, and try and pull in as much damage as we can. Now that was a long range shot. I just fluffed the shot there. RBRT 2 shots on the M60. He's gone, and there's the Top Gun. And the commander's just said we're the last ones left. So it's me versus 5, and it's like, okay. The Bagel's a good tank. I'm not really thinking I can win this one. So what I will do is I'll just play to have fun. I'll play the objective. They're probably going to go sit on the cap, but I'm just going to play to have fun now. So let's see how much I can do with the remaining, we'll just call it, what, 8:55. Well, because with the remaining 9 minutes. Let's see what we can do with the remaining 9 minutes. Kind of cautious because I know there are long lines of sight. I'm coming out of a fairly predictable area. Anyone who plays Desful enough knows how much the teams love to camp in that one square at G0. Lord knows why. There are more squares on this map, folks. Don't have to play just that one. But I'm playing cautiously because I know they could be anywhere at this point. There was at least one Ignis in the middle. So now it's about not getting caught on a flank at short range, because the minimum arm distance will limit my ATGMs. So I go to the bridge just to try and see what I can see. I'm expecting them on our cap, so this position can see the cap. I can also see the centre of town, and there they are. There's one on the cap. Now, I think I put a shot out here. Yes, I do. I get spotted in the process. WZ pop smoke, but in the wrong direction. And was that a Bagel behind? There was a WZ, and I saw something drive across at the back. I think that was one of the Bagels. They've got 2 light tanks left, and yes, there are 2 Bagels left. He spots me. Okay, so right, this now is when it's like, okay, yeah, all right. We're getting into a little bit of hot water here. The Bofors gun on this thing is absolutely lovely. I've got to say, I do like the Bagel. It is a very nice tank. But I don't feel great all the time playing such, I want to say again, marginally, borderline overpowered. You know, it's teetering on the edge, like I said earlier. So I know that other Bagel was behind me, so I take the river as a way of breaking line of sight. If I drove across the open desert, he'd have line of sight to me, could put ATGMs out, could put shots out. If I'm driving down the river, he is limited by the cutting of the river, or the stream, whatever you want to call it. Spot him down there, ATGM goes out. My hit points are they're just withering away at this point. And again, I'm not really expecting to win this. I'm just playing, trying to make them work for it as much as I possibly can. It was a 1 versus 5. It's now a 1 versus 4. That Bagel behind me he's not a one-shot. He's on less health than he was originally, because I took 1,000 off with the ATGM. But again, I'm still trying to play the objective. I know there's 2 on the cap, so I'm heading back to the cap to try and get the reset. And again, we're just making them work for it. Panic now as the WZ, I drive straight past him, and I'm on 1 hit point now. 1 hit point. I'm so nervous. He bumps a rock. My ATGM goes wild. That should have been a kill shot there. Oh, man. I can tell you guys, my heart rate was through the roof. This was nail biting. This was stream as well. Oh, man. I was struggling to hold it together. At this point, I went back over this in the replay. At this point, my thumbs were shaking on the controller, and I thought you'd be able to see the shake of my thumbs, but you can't. Still on 1 hit point. I'm doing everything I can to just try and lose their lines of sight. I'm assuming this is the Bagel from earlier. He's not paying attention. Take him out. 8 kills. Set the fire. And that bagel, his final shot hits me as he burns out with the fire that I set on him. That was the most nail-biting game I have played in 2.5 years. A defeat, and I finished third on the MVP screen. 15,400 damage and 9 kills. That was, and no word of a lie, that is the best game I have played in 2.5 years since my previous best game. And I still think the previous game I played was possibly better than that one, because that was also 9 kills, but I won the game. That was, I had to take a breather after this game. It was incredibly intense. We get a mastery. We get the I missed what that medal was. Still on the 2 mark. But yeah, there you go, guys. That was just an insane game, an absolutely insane game. Anyway, that is all I've got for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave the video a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.